Hey Octalysis Primers! Today I want to talk about the new game design technique called the magnetic cap. And magnetic cap is a game technique that utilizes core drive scarcity and impatience. And it's basically saying if you want to increase a behavior of a particular user type, you put a limit to it. And that doesn't seem very intuitive, right? If you want people to do something for 1,000,000 times, why would you say that you're not allowed to do it, or you're only allowed to do it this many times? But the thing is that sometimes if you say, hey, do it as much as you want, people don't care and they do it 0 times. But if you say you're only allowed to do it 10 times, then suddenly they're like, oh, I gotta do it 10 times. There's a experiment where there's a supermarket and they put up a sign that says 10% off eggplants, and basically you can buy as many as you want. And then what they saw is that people on average bought about 4 to 5 eggplants, right? Because you don't need a lot more than that for a whole family. But then they switched the sign to say that, same 10% off eggplants, but you can only buy 10 max. And so when they did that, they saw on average people bought about 6 to 7 eggplants. So that's kind of weird, right? Because normally people only want to buy 4 to 5. So when you say you can only buy 10 max, you didn't really stop people from doing anything they actually wanted to do. However, because there's a limit now, people are saying, I want to take advantage of my God-given rights to buying 10 eggplants. So then they end up buying more. So again, it's that limitation drives behavior. If you want this kid on his computer to go out and play, he doesn't want to play. He wants to stay on his computer all day long. But if you put bars around him, or saying you can only go out at between 7 to 8 o'clock, then they're going to take advantage of that time. So that limitation drives behavior. In 2016, I got a call from a startup that I was advising, and they're trying to get college students to sign petitions. And they said that a lot of people are willing to sign, but the problem is most of them only sign 1 and they stop. And they said even the most active user signs 3 petitions a day. Then they said, oh, and we learned about this magnetic cap technique from your book, and we tried it out, and we said you're only allowed to sign 3 petitions a day. And then suddenly everyone's signing 3 a day. So it's pretty amazing. You turn all your average users into your top users. Now, one concern is, well, what about your hardcore users, those people who want to buy 50 eggplants or want to do it 100 times as opposed to 10? This is where a leveling up structure makes sense, right? So as they keep doing it, now you're level 3. Now you go from 10 to 20. Oh, you're level 4. Now you can go from 20 to 50. So as long as they keep doing the desired actions, they actually don't lose the right to do it. They're still able to do it. So that with that design, the hardcore users will still do like as much as they want to do, but the early stage users, they're driven to do it more. A lot of times the magnetic cap is used for strong desired actions. Look at your initial behavior, look at what people are doing. Like if most people are only doing 10 or 50 or 100, just give them that amount to do. If you want people to like other people's profiles or pictures, just say you can only like 5 a day until you could get more. So this works with invite codes, right? You might have got an invite code from a new startup that's, it says, oh, you only have 3 invite codes you can send to your friends. And suddenly everyone's sending these invite codes like, hey guys, I have one of the 3 invite codes. You gotta be my friend. Come on, talk to me. Whereas if they just say, hey, go invite your friends, go spam your friends, then no one really cares. So I want you to think about in your project, are there things that you want more behavior of? And I want you to think, is there a way to intelligently put some kind of limit to it so it actually drives behavior? Because we know that in the Octalysis framework, there's no core drive called abundance, but there's a culture called scarcity, because abundance does not motivate people, but scarcity does. Limitations create desire. So think about how can you implement the magnetic cap into your experience, and I love it for you to share it in the comment sections in the Octalysis community. And with that, I'll see you guys later. Prime on!